You're listening to Morning Edition here on this Tuesday on WCBU. I'm Rich Drager. Two recent high-profile settlements media companies agreed to with the Trump administration have created legal uncertainty for the industry, but not so much here in Illinois. That's according to attorney Don Craven. He's been representing media organizations across the state for decades. In this interview with WCBU's Eric Stock, Craven explains sunshine laws in Illinois, including the Freedom of Information Act, have generally been protected.
There are always efforts to insert additional exemptions into FOIA or additional exemptions into the Open Meetings Act, but by and large, it's been pretty positive. There are one or two things that stand out that could be tweaked for the better, but mostly we're in pretty good shape.
Many newsrooms have gotten smaller, more corporate-owned. Has that impacted what you've seen on the ground level in terms of journalists and their owners pursuing cases that could potentially end up in litigation?
Yes, the volume of requests, the volume of calls to me, to my office, is down. That's simply because the number of reporters in newsrooms is less. You have less time to work on stories. You're working on fewer. You're not working on fewer stories, but you're stretched thinner than you were before, and that doesn't add to the quality of journalism.
And the ability to aggressively pursue stories that need to be uncovered.
If you have to aggressively pursue a story, if you have to spend legal fees to go get a public record, the answer from above is going to be no.
I want to go back to the thought about the newsrooms being smaller. Another aspect in which the media has changed over the years is the citizen journalist. Everyone with a phone is a reporter now with the capability to broadcast to large groups of people. Has that impacted the dynamic at all?
Yes and no. The proliferation of social media sites, all of that has impinged, if you will, on the ability of public radio, newspapers, to get the attention of readers and listeners. So it makes it more difficult because just because you see it on somebody's Facebook post doesn't mean that person has done what you have done in order to put a story on the air. But yet you have to fight against the impression that, well, I read it on Facebook, it must be true, and if NPR says something else, then who am I going to believe?
From what we've seen nationally, companies have agreed to lawsuits, they have agreed to settlements to ward off cases. Paramount was one. ABC News was one. How do you look at those cases in the context of what's happening here in Illinois? Are those simply outliers that the Trump administration has been involved in, or do you see long-term impacts there?
Put me in the category of those who disagreed with the decision, for instance, of ABC to settle. There are times when, because of the role that the press plays in our form of government, there are times when the expenses have to be paid to defend our role, and to fold, settle, and go home for purely economic reasons, I think was not the right decision.
That was media attorney Don Craven speaking with Eric Stock. Craven spoke at a recent forum with the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press in Normal. I'm Rich Drager. You're listening to Morning Edition on WCBU.